global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. A few hours ago, the Abuja Senator, Kingibe, came out to talk about the illegality surrounding ground rent impact on the people. Don't forget that the Wike has been going around to seal the properties of defaulters of ground rent. They are amounted, I think, to 4,700 and something persons. But at a point, the president had to wade into the case and halted it. It was quite a huge relief to the defaulters. But unfortunately, according to the info we've heard, Wike has not done the needful as expected. That's to make sure that, the sealing stop. They're still doing their own thing. Kingibe came out, the senator, and said that she was not going to sit idly and watch things go bad for her people. And she brought out the legality surrounding the issue of ground rent default, that it only revolves around fines and penalties for defaulters. But it's not a case of seizing their properties and selling it out. That is absolutely illegal, and she won't stand by to watch that happen. Wike had to speak via the office of his media person. We're going to be looking at full details of that in a jiffy. And according to the news, the heated political dispute erupted on Thursday between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, and the FCTA representative in the Senate, Senator Kingibe, over the recent sealing of properties in Abuja due to ground rent defaults. Senator Kingibe had on May 26, which was supposed to be made public yesterday, condemned the mass clampdown as unconstitutional and high-handedness, raising concern that the closure of several buildings, including the People's Democratic Party, National Secretariat, Access Bank offices, FIRS, violated the right of residents and businesses. In a strongly worded statement shared on her official X handle, Kingibe accused the FCT minister or administration of disregarding legal procedure. She argued that the enforcement measures failed to comply with the provision of the Land Use Act and the Urban and Regional Planning Act, which she said stipulates penalties such as fines, not outright property seizure. The Nigerian property can be lawfully seized or sealed solely due to ground rent default. He said no Nigerian property can be lawfully sealed or seized solely due to ground rent default. She said, describing the FCTA's action as indiscriminate and insensitive in the light of the country's economic challenges. She further warned that such action could erode public trust and deepen economic hardship for Abuja residents. Kingibe pledged to push for legislative measures to ensure that due process govern future enforcement action. In response, Wike media aide Larry Olayinka released a counter statement accusing Senator Kingibe of ridiculous ignorance of existing land laws. He said her remarks reflected a personal grudge rather than a genuine legal argument. In his word, he said it is embarrassingly ignorant for a serving minister or serving senator to be unaware of Section 28 of the Land Use Act. Olayinka said ground rent is not optional. It is a legal obligation, and failure to comply for 10, 20, even 43 years cannot be excused. Olayinka insisted that non-payment constitute a breach of property certificate of occupancy, a valid reason under the law for revocation or sealing. Would Senator Kingibe, if she were FCT minister, for her arms while landowners evade payment of what is legally due for decades? He accused the senator of using her position to defend property owners who have failed their civic obligation and called on her to purge herself of hatred for Wike. Senator Kingibe, however, stood her grounds while acknowledging that payment of ground rent is necessary. She emphasized that enforcement must follow due procedures and respect the right of property's owner. According to her, she said, we must not let frustration with defaulters override constitutional protection. Democratic governance demand fairness, legality, and sensitivity to citizens' economic reality. That was the position she gave. But the conversation underscored growing political tension between the two FCT power players, despite a recent intervention by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I mean, this is quite disturbing, hearing a media person made such a statement, against the number one lawmaker in FCTA. FCTA have just one, and I feel that she has the full right as a senator to step in to correct the ills. Now, as much as Larry was able to, whip sentiments around the fact that people have owed for many years, as much as 43 years, as much as, 10 years, 20 years, it's very reasonable. But just according to her, she said frustration for refusal to pay ground rent should not make you exceed the legal requirement, the legal penalties set out. And I think that's one of the things that Larry would have considered before vituperating those insults on the office of the, senator. I feel she would have think over it before she or he made those statements. Because for me, I just feel that she was outrightly wrong in the statement he made. There is no provision. The most important thing, just like we've always been saying, is there a provision in the Constitution that said that after some years of default, they should go an extra mile in revoking the land? That's just a question. Is there, if you bring out that particular provision and say, based on this provision, this is our standpoint, nobody will, get angry with you or say anything. If there is such a provision that in the event of defaulting for a long period of time, this is what we are going to do. This is what we are going to do. Ground rent must be paid. But I think it's a case of setting up a target, or possibly employing the services of bankers or whoever you want to get, so that they put it in a kind of make it a monthly thing where they put pressure on the owners of the land. You can embarrass them. You must embarrass them. You can embarrass them. You can do anything, or even drag them to court. But a situation whereby you think of revoking their land and selling it over to another person is absolutely not right. That's one of the things Nigerians are talking about. And I tell you the whole truth, that so many Nigerians have been reacting to it, because for them, it's a pointer to the fact that what Wike is doing is taking laws into his hand, and most people are outrightly not happy about the development. They feel that what should be done rightly. But however, we'll give you full details of any other thing that comes up after now in respect to it, because already Nigerians are talking, and most people are expecting more boost to come up, as it has to do with that kid. Let me just read one or two reactions from Nigerians in respect to it. Someone here say, is it not unbelievable that government official and president took oath to protect Nigerians and their property is now either pulling down property or seizing them, watching while Nigerians are pick up like chickens and selling all their properties to pay ransom, but they know how to track those that criticize them from the social media and all of that. Another person reacting said, what is wrong with what Kingibe said as compared to what the president did? So the only reason for paying special assistance salary is the ability to insult opponent. The only thing Olayinka knows how to write is insulting words. He appears to be very good at this. In this war, has Kingibe not warned them, as Tinubu has given time for owners to comply? And that is what Kingibe said. Absolutely. And I just feel that Larry should at a point rest, because the way he's vituperating insult at, respected elected officers is, for me, outrightly inexcusable, I must say. But however, let's watch to see what Kingibe will say after now. Let's